I've been playing the Fire King cards since they originally came out, but with the new structure deck they got last year, I've been playing them ever since. Love these cards. Ponix, one of my favorite cards. I have a lot of favorite cards, you know, spoiler alert. I say that a lot because I love Yu-Gi-Oh! And I love all the cards that make me happy, and that's what it's all about. Now, let's see what Yuto's going to do. He is going to start off. It's kind of like a running joke for me because I've been playing the new Fire King cards since they came out. I cast a lot of our tournaments, but I've only got to see maybe one feature match with Fire Kings in this entirety of the time it's been out. So really excited to see some of these cards come out here from Yuto.
Well, it's going to be a start of Snake Eyes Poplar. Going to be able to add the original Sinful Spoils, something that's very normal for the Fire King strategy, not so typical for regular Snake Eye because they usually go for the Divine Temple.
Yep, and this is Yuto's main phase one, not to be confused by that graphic up there. Now Yuto is going to link away Poplar for Anima.
The Poplar are going to be able to activate its effect now in the graveyard to put itself back in the Spell and Trap zone.
This is a matchup with Japan versus Central America. That's my favorite part about the World Championship, is just seeing the cross-world matchups. The players you would never get to play all coming together here in the World Championship.
So Poplar is going to be sent away for original Sinful Spoils Snake Eye for another level 1 fire monster.
All right, this is where things start getting rich.
Ponix. I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to spoil things, but I really hope it is. There
Ponix.
it is! Legendary Fire King Ponix. So a lot of the times you see the pure Snake Eye deck grab Divine Temple, while Fire Kings like to grab Ponix. And then there's, oh, that beautiful super rare Fire King Sanctuary. That's going to let him place Fire King Island to the field zone.
I haven't seen this card in a long time, I feel.
I have it in my backpack right now, ready to go. Fire King Island's going to destroy Ponix, letting him add the Sacred Fire King Garunix. So now he's going to use that effect of Garunix to special summon itself from the hand. On the field, he'll be able to destroy a tri-type of the Fire King types from the deck. And it's probably going to be a Fire King Avatar, Arvata. I can't see it because it's off camera. It could be Kieran as well.
Yeah, it could be higher. I still can't really tell.
If it's pink, it's Arvata. If it's green, it's Kieran.
It's so close. But it is one of the two as the Ponix does come back from the graveyard. Look how, he's just so cute. I literally fell in love with him from the first time I saw his picture. He's actually on like the artworks from some of the older Fire King cards as well. So it's cool to see him come to life here so many years later.
Yes, all the way from Circle.
No, Nibiru, the primal being, is going to send all these monsters to the graveyard.
Two birds, one stone.
It's a tribute as well. It tributes them. It doesn't destroy them, so it's not going to trigger those effects.
Absolutely brutal here for Yuto, but Giancarlo showing why he's here at the World Championship. Cool, calm, and collected here for this Nibiru, the primal being.
Can't confirm that's an Arvata.
No, it was Arvata. Okay, yeah, it's usually Arvata because you want to get it to your graveyard with the Garunix to summon it back with a Promethean Princess at some point. But it's going to be tough for him here with that Primal Being token on the field. We're going to have to see if he has any other way to get more monsters onto the field.
Waiting for the game state to open back up.
We'll see if Yuto's able to extend past this point. Already committed his normal summon, already used Fire King Island.
Yeah, starting with Snake Eyes Poplar, not the strongest start for the Fire King strategy. We can see he is playing Fiendsmith Fire King. He could have the Fiendsmith engine as well, or Divastar the Black Witch.
Right, already using original as well.
Second one.
I'm surprised he didn't leave. Oh, I guess when you already had Poplar, there's not much else you could do. I mean, this is usually where the benefits of Pure Snake Eye come in, because you never actually need to use original in their combos. But unfortunately for Fire King, I think this is a lot of why the deck became a little less popular.
But he does set Wanted Secret the Sinful Spoils, so he'll be able to use that on the next turn to put it in the graveyard to get a draw potentially on the following turn.
Kind of an awkward hand when you start with double Yubel Star. Double Yubel Star Poplar.
Oh, but he's going to be using Druid Swarm, banishing, I believe, the relinquished Anima to special summon out the Druid Swarm from the hand, linking away those two for
Moon.
Ooh, Moon in the closed heaven.
The Jerusalem is going to be able to take down that Nibiru, which could be beneficial for Giancarlo if he has something like Infinite Impermanence in his hand, opening up the field, but you're still going to want to take it out. Otherwise, forcing the battle phase right away is always threatening. But now that he got those two monsters on the field, able to access the Fiendsmith aspect of the deck.
It's nice seeing these cards in these rarities that are not available in the DC regions. Like, I haven't seen a foil Moon in the Closed Heaven before.
Yeah, that's a magazine promo over there, I believe.
It is really neat.
Those usually come as ultras.
Fiendsmith sequence going to shuffle back a couple of like fiends to the extra deck to summon
Oh, Lacrimosa.
Fiendsmith
Lacrimosa target.
Lacrimosa.
Okay.
Fiendsmith Lacrima is going to be able to summon the Engraver back from the graveyard. So this is again where you can kind of bridge through your plays.
F6 token.
Yeah, I mean,
Rock check.
So this is cool.
Okay.
He's going to be able to go into Beatrice.
Oh, better.
Still using the Fiendsmith cards. He's going to have access to Princess to potentially bring back Arvata at the end of the turn. I like it. I like the synergy with Fiendsmith and the
Oh,
Fire
gosh.
King cards.
There's the Snake Eye Ash.
So forced out the Nibiru with the Fire King package, and now he's going to be able to continue to
Right.
play
Yep.
into the Snake Eye part of the deck.
Thinking.
yeah.
Yeah, see, now this is a decision. Is it Snake Eye Ash? Is it Fire King
Oh, okay.
Arvata?
That was the sequence, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to be using the effect of the Lacrima,
Okay.
putting back the sequence in the extra, getting that 1200 bit of damage.
Effect.
I believe it's going to be going after that Snake Eye Ash that you put in the graveyard with the effect of Beatrice. And now you can just add some follow-up here. You already normal summon Poplar. You could, of course, special summon another copy if you choose to.
Effect.
Yeah, we're going to be adding Poplar from the deck to hand, and we're going to be able to special summon it with its own effect.
Yeah.
Hey.
And this gives him a potential
Yes, it was.
2 bodies.
Yes.
And putting,
Nice.
I think the most important thing is putting the princess in the
okay,
graveyard,
that's right.
which is way more important in the Fire King strategy in
Can I
comparison to
see the
Snake Eye, because that
graveyard?
turns on your Garunix.
Yep, definitely. Anytime a fire monster is destroyed, you're able to start summoning back your Garunix, which can give you the Kieran and, you know, continue that process of disrupting the opponent's board. And if he has the Fire King Sanctuary on the field and happens to play the Xyz Garunix, that's also going to be another point of interaction he could potentially have as well.
Surprised to see him using
probably
Ash's
the
effect,
cover.
sending the Poplar instead of the Promethean
Okay.
Princess, but I guess locking yourself into fire is not nearly as restrictive in an actual
wait,
Fire
oh.
King strategy.
4.
Oh.
4.
Oh, making a
Link
Link
four.
4
Not
into
bad.
Amber
Hey,
Whale.
it's Ambler Whale. I haven't seen
It's-
Ambler Whale in a while.
It's been so long. Hello, old friend.
Amblewell is a cool one. Doesn't have to worry about Nibiru here, so bringing back
Okay.
more monsters from the graveyard thanks to Snake Eye Slaneburge.
Thinking.
Can I put?
Oh, thank you.
Flameburge has not used its effect to put anything in the spell and trap zone, right? I guess
Oh.
he will choose not to at this point.
Plan his cost. Okay.
Yeah.
Using the effect of Engraver here, going to be able to put back the Lacrima, special summon itself from the graveyard. Now, looks like we're link summoning with the Snake Eye Ash.
Oh, Mascarena.
IP Masquerena.
Okay.
This is a pretty good board
Check
through
my board
Nibiru.
there.
Yep, leaving the Poplar on the
Okay.
field to potentially put the Flameburge
Oh,
back in the spell and
okay.
trap zone.
Yes.
This also gives him another fire to potentially use on the princess if he needs it, if something happens. Gives him another material to link away with IP Masquerena. Lots of uses for that Poplar being on the
draw
field
for
still.
Okay.
All right, now it is back to Giancarlo. One of our duelists to watch here this weekend.
Going to be leading with that opening of the Spirit Gates. One of the most powerful effects in the Yubel strategy. Going to be able to resolve the effect here. Add a card, or add a monster that lists any of the 3 Sacred Beasts.
Okay.
Resolution?
No.
Good.
Okay.
With Dark Beckoning Beast in hand, it could be committing it to the normal summon immediately, but could be choosing to potentially lead with some other extension first.
Giancarlo considering his options in a tough spot. Down 1 card since he had to use the Nibiru,
Summon.
but he's going to lead right away for Phantom of Yubel.
This is very, very powerful here, because if you cut off the princess in the graveyard, you can actually cut off several responses. It's likely going to force the IP Masquerena from Yuto here, because you want to prioritize resolving that princess.
Could be, could be.
Take my graveyard.
Yeah, see, it is a tough spot, so Yuto definitely considering that is where, is it IP I use here? Do I use the Princess here? A lot of times you do want to use the IP first because IP likes to go into SP Little Knight. Once Princess touches down on the field, you are locked into fires. Not so bad for Fire King, but bad for IP Masquerena. I love the art on Phantom Yubel. That like one arms, they're still there, and then the rest of them just being in that phantom form. It looks so cool.
Really the card that put the entire deck together, right?
It was pretty good before then, but I think they're two really different decks between before and after Phantom of Yubel was released. Both of them did well, but it's like a totally different beast now.
It does feel that way, I agree.
Yuto opting to do nothing at this point, letting Giancarlo commit more cards to the field. Going to be normal summoning the Dark Beckoning Beast, activating its effect, adding another monster here. Or not necessarily a monster, but we're going to be adding the Chaos Summoning Beast.
Master and effect.
Thank you.
Okay.
IP has now been activated. Will Giancarlo choose to use the Phantom Yubel? I imagine you're not really supposed to. Well, never mind then.
Okay.
Phantom
Yuto
Yubel
gives
is
a thumbs
activated.
up.
It's going to change the effect of IP Masquerena to destroy a Yubel from his deck.
Looks like he's eyeing the Spirit of Yubel.
It's a tough decision knowing that Princess is waiting in the graveyard.
Okay.
Yeah, and the onslaught of Fire Kings that will follow it as well. Because usually in Fire Kings, you want to wait until there's a few monsters on the field before you start summoning back all those Fire King monsters, so you're able to get the Kieran. The best part is when you destroy the Kieran, not only are you destroying another card on the field, so the Princess is taking out a card, the Kieran's going to take out a card, but that Kieran's summoning back an Arvata, which is a monster negate on top of that as well.
Yeah.
And then if you happen to play the rank 8 Grunix, you also have a board wipe after everything is said and done.
Yeah, Giancarlo sees all this happening, opts to not use the effect of Spirit of Yubel here to summon a monster to make sure that the Princess cannot activate it right now. So he wants to set up a little bit more before getting to that point.
What did he discard there? Was that...
I can't really see.
Okay.
Is that...
It's a Fable
It was a
Lurie.
Lurie.
Chainlink 1.
The Vestus card.
I mean, you can argue that, yeah, these are a really, really powerful discard, but we're putting a lot of really important bodies on the field to just get eaten by something along the lines of Kieran.
All right, so after all this happens, Yuto's going to have some decisions to make.
Check my graveyard.
It does indeed look like he is contemplating his next action.
It's still in there. The Princess is waiting.
Yeah, I think you probably want to use the Princess on the Lurie. Princess on the Lurie. Bring out Grunix. Grunix destroys Kieran. Bring out Arvata. Destroy the Nightmare Pain that's set.
Yeah, that is what I would do personally. And we're also setting up the Ambler Whale on the grave, but I don't think there's any link monster for him to summon back, right?
Yep.
Yeah, the summoning back effect of the Ambler Whale is usually not too crucial, but it's more so that other graveyard effect if a link 3 or lower leaves the field, you get that extra destruction effect along the way.
Which is very relevant with the Arvata. It's going to be able to potentially destroy the Princess.
Yep. So here comes Grunix. The Sacred Fire King Grunix, to be exact.
Okay.
And then
There's Kieran.
There it is.
The High Avatar, Kieran.
Limited to 2 in the OCG, so actually, you know, Fire Kings are a little more limited than they are in the TCG here this weekend.
Oh, can I target?
No,
Oh,
so it goes
well.
after. Okay, I can respect that, but still, with the Nightmare Pain and Spirit of Yubel in the field, a little scary.
Okay.
I mean, bodies on the field are still as relevant as ever. The Nightmare Pain is only going to be able to generate some more, but at the cost of other bodies on the field.
Oh,
so
he knows he has the Chaos Summoning Beast in hand, so he wanted to take out that Dark Beckoning Beast. That makes a lot of sense too.
not get the additional normal summon here. Now the opening the Spirit Gates is already used. A lot of cards face up here for Giancarlo. Still plenty of responses from Yuto.
Yeah. Pain effect.
Okay.
Pain effect is going to be allowed to resolve. I think he destroyed either the Chaos Summoning Beast from his hand or the other monster that was there, the Sincerity Lotus.
Okay.
So he adds Gruesome Grave Squirmer. Talk about an upgrade of a former card. The original Grave Squirmer, while it was useful in its day, the gruesome version is quite good.
I always liked regular old Grave Squirmer.
Me too. It was really good in the Battle Pack days, for sure.
Oh, this is a really powerful effect here. Going to be able to use the Arvada to negate the effect of the Grave Squirmer to special summon itself, but that because it doesn't destroy, it's going to be staying in the hand, so it's not going to be able to get its additional effect in the graveyard to
Can I
special
go to
summon.
game one?
And that is it!
Okay.
Yuto was able to take game 1 with his Fire King strategy, and Billy is punching the air.
Now Giancarlo will have a chance to go first with his Fiendsmith Yubel strategy. He got to see what Yuto could do going first through a Nibiru, but now it's his time to show off. And opening the Spirit Gates is going to be the opening move yet again.
I'm trying to contain my excitement. I got to see the whole hand there. That is a hand.
Got over half the match left here. Plenty of time.
Okay.
Someone effect.
Okay.
Dark Beckoning Beast is able to resolve now. Potentially adding another copy of Opening the Spirit Gates, but also just any monster that risks the Sacred Beasts.
Yep, could just be another copy of Dark Beckoning Beast since you have the extra normal summon or Chaos Summoning Beast.
I think it specifically can't add itself.
Oh yeah, it's Chaos
Yeah.
Summoning
It
Beast.
cannot add
Opening the
itself.
Spirit Gates gets Dark Beckoning Beast. Dark Beckoning Beast gets Chaos Summoning Beast. That's right.
That's basically the only reason you're playing the Chaos Summoning
Yeah.
Beast, because otherwise you have nothing to get.
Kind of like a Speedroid Tack and Tomborg
And there's the
situation.
terraforming. Oh no. I wonder when this is going to get potentially the most powerful card in the
There
Yubel
it is.
strategy.
Nightmare Throne.
This is the 1-2 punch from Yubel. Spirit Gates and Throne. No draw and Lockbreaker from Yuto. Don't know if he plays it, but if he did, it would be key to have it here.
Okay.
It looks like we're opting to destroy the Spirit of Yubel from the deck. That's going to be able to use its effect once destroyed to special summon a Yubel from the deck as well.
Yuto looking to send Yubel straight up into space here.
Now, there is still an option for an additional normal summon because of the effect of Dark Beckoning Beast.
No,
We're going to be using that for the Samsara Lotus.
That's a card we haven't seen yet with the couple of Yubel decks we've had. Simsar D Lotus, one of the stronger cards in the deck.
He's asking for a time check there.
サレンダーしたいです。
He would like to surrender.
サレンダーしたいです。
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
I mean-
So smart. So smart from Yuto. Knowing that he's seen enough, his hand's
Like,
probably not strong enough to break this
That is
board.
one of the best hands possible for this deck. You know how many response... Like, there's going to be so many interruptions just
much time?
from that
25
point on.
People did it. I don't think anyone expected Fire Kings this weekend. But Yuto has clearly figured something out that maybe other players didn't. Maybe this is the deck he qualified with for this. But ooh,
Okay.
you hear Yuto say strong card. Yeah, Perilia really strong against Fire King. Runic
Especially
summons
Fire
from
King.
hand.
Yeah.
Yep. But Yuto leading off with Engraver. We'll see how much of an impact. You don't have to. Yeah, he could maybe just be able to set himself up to summon Grunix during
Break that.
Giancarlo's turn, potentially, not playing into the Perilia.
Very cool.
Probably, I think I
That's-
saw him
that-
picking up that track
Yeah.
from the booth yesterday.
Yes.
Going to grab that Fabled
Yes.
Lurry, discard the Fabled Lurry.
Effect?
Yes.
Okay.
Lurry is going to be able to trigger its
Okay.
effect when discarded. Special summon itself from the graveyard.
I think he's got the dual terminal Lurry.
Looks pretty sweet.
Shaking. Okay.
Yuto's going to link away the Fabled Lurry into Fiendsmith Requiem.
There it is.
Okay. Effect.
Requiem is going to be able to activate its effect here. Not met with any response from Giancarlo. Going to be able to special summon from the deck. There's another copy of Fiendsmith Engraver. He goes off to the races for now. But as soon as he commits anything else from the hand, Giancarlo is going to be able to start drawing some cards. Let's see how he adapts into a situation like this.
Engraver, yeah. No,
Oh, sorry.
Wrong deck there, but the Lurry goes back into the main deck.
Looks like we're making a
Send
link
both of
to.
those.
Yep, there's going to be a Fiendsmith sequence.
Okay.
yeah.
Effect.
Sequence is
Does
going to activate its effect
Giancarlo
here.
have another
Oh,
interaction?
very foil. Okay.
Infinite Impermanence, shutting down Fiendsmith sequence here.
Shaking.
Yep.
Now Yuto might finally have to give Giancarlo a card if he has to normal summon from his hand.
When he set his hand down at first, I thought maybe he's just going to like shove it all into his back row and set 3 or 4.
Could be. It's not a bad way to play into a hand when your opponent uses a couple of those interactions. You have a couple of infinite permanences of your own. But no, it is a bonfire that he's been trying to avoid
Okay.
using.
And he's going for the Ash as well. So potentially, you know, you could have tried to get around it by just going for something else first, maybe to limit the amount of monsters you summon from the hand.
Thinking.
Oh, a lot of monsters there in Yuta's hand.
Check effect.
I do enjoy how Yuto's clarifying every single action that he's doing.
No miscommunication here.
Really considering his options here, he has to be very careful. He's trying to probably calculate how to give Giancarlo the least amount of value for his Milcharmy.
That's the thing. Like, once you put that Ash down, you're kind of committed to at least 2.
Yeah, he's not going to. He's going to normal summon Ponix.
Okay.
So Bonfire might have been a little bit of a bait there, trying to see if there's an Ash Blossom and Joy Spring from Giancarlo's side, potentially.
Mm-hmm. At the very minimum, you add a fire to your hand for something along the lines of Fire King Island.
Oh. Okay.
Bonfire is at 2?
Two
in
copies.
this event?
Yeah.
Fire King Sanctuary is going to be activated. That's going to be able to place Fire King Island to the spell and trap, or sorry, the field zone.
Iron.
It's kind of like a spell trap zone.
Almost.
Thinking.
You might just have to give Giancarlo some cards here. I mean, Perulia is just so strong.
Yeah, you really want to set up a good amount of interruptions against the Yubel strategy. I mean, we've seen how powerful it is and how easily it is able to push through.
Use the Islands effect here.
Now, here's a dangerous consideration we haven't talked about yet when it comes to playing against Yubel. You put big monsters on the field, all of a sudden, that is a way for you to lose.
Destroys the Ash.
Yeah, so
Now-
this makes it easy to summon back from the graveyard.
So he can add the Grunix to his hand. He could either use the Grunix now, which looks like he is going to do, or he could hold off and then wait for a fire monster to be destroyed during Giancarlo's turn.
Oh, retreat.
Oh
Yeah,
no, so he
he's-
is holding it. He
he's
isn't
holding
going to
it.
use the effect. He's just going to add it to the hand. So that means he probably has something that will enable destruction to summon it back.
There's the Promethean Princess.
I mean, at the very least, yeah, he has Princess, right?
Very true. This can summon back that Snake Eye Ash he just destroyed. Just avoiding giving Giancarlo these cards.
I mean, that's something these players have to be prepared for. You know that Milcharmy is a card. They've played with these cards before. You have to be able to adapt any given play to something like Milcharmy Perulia and try to give your opponent the least amount of advantage.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. Wait.
So it looks like the Ash added a copy of Snake Eyes Poplar from the deck to the hand, but it was not special
no,
summoned.
no.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey.
Oh, that's a lot of cuts, but
Oh, rank some.
All right, not going to summon Poplar, holding the Poplar, holding the Grunix, not giving Giancarlo any more cards.
the
Treating
minimum
it
amount of
like
cards
it's a
necessary.
maxi kind of thing, because
Yeah.
you kind of, if you play into maxi, you're usually going to end up losing.
Oh,
You
okay.
have to respect your opponent's cards, and Yudo having nothing but respect for Giancarlo and what he'll be able to do if he happens to draw too many cards from that deck.
Yeah, that's the main difference between cards like
Alright.
Milcharmy versus something like
it's
Maxi,
got
right? You get to
Sunlight
mitigate it in some capacity. You can still create as many interruptions as possible while minimizing the amount of draws your
Okay.
opponent gets. And looks like we're just going to end on just Sunlight Wolf, which I feel like is a big tell,
Okay.
right?
It can be.
now
I mean,
if
it
you
could
have-
just be the fire monster you wants to give it for
Oh, my
Princess. You could read into that. Or it could, yeah, you could potentially read he has something like the legendary, well, it's not like the Fire King, High Avatar, Kieran.
Because I
potentially in the
feel
hand.
like any other position, you would just make the Amblo Whale.
Oh, he does play Amblo well. That is true.
Okay.
And we're going
Oh,
That is going to be a huge difference
Oh.
maker here.
so he's going to have to use Princess right here.
Effect.
Yep, we're going to be activating the Princess. We're
Target this and this effect.
Okay.
going to be chaining the Phantom Yellow. So we're cutting off the Princess here. But again, I think it's a pretty big tell if we're opening with that Sunlight Wolf there. There's a high chance that there is an effect in that hand for you to destroy another monster and trigger that Grunix. But it looks like the Phantom Yubel is going to destroy Yubel, which is going to summon Terra Incarnate. And then there's a
It's
triple
gonna
tactic
take a
talons.
peek.
Oh, thinking.
That's going to force something right now.
But there's nothing he can do. I mean, he could chain, if he does have a
You know,
he
the
could
the
chain
Grunix
his-
is gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brutal.
That hurts.
Like,
That
we're-
really hurts.
We're going to see a hand of Grunix, Poplar, Kieran, and something.
Giancarlo showing why he is here, drawing fairly well. He's going to still need a little bit more depending on which effect. I'm assuming he said look at hand.
He
for
did.
the
Yeah, he did say
Allen,
look
yeah.
at hand.
You might have to just, I don't know, do you let it go and just see if Giancarlo will make a mistake?
I think you have to let it go. If he doesn't pick the Garunix, he has to pick the Garunix either way if he has Kieran.
Effect.
Oh,
Yeah, he's
gonna
chaining
chain
the
it.
Kieran.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
Mercado,
if you do this
duel.
this way, if you what
Oh,
happens
he could
if you destroy the Kieran?
He could destroy the Garunix out of his hand. We'll see if that's what he does. Oh, he can destroy the Garunix out of his hand. The Kieran summons under the zone Sunlight Wolf is pointing at, right? He gets to look at his hand, shovel something back, and then the Garunix is in the graveyard.
Special summon.
And he can add it back.
Flambear's Dragon.
But then you wouldn't be able to use it to. You wouldn't be able to summon it that
Still be-
turn.
Okay.
Okay, well, for later if
Yeah,
they
for later.
destroy something, yeah.
Well, no, because of Sunlight Wolf, you can't summon it that turn.
Oh, if you added it back,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, I was just saying it would be in the graveyard.
Well, in any
Yeah.
case, he destroyed Snake Eyes Flambear's Dragon.
Yeah.
That's, this is
So
incredible.
this is academic.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we did not know that was in his hand.
Yeah, that was a
Two.
Yes.
Okay.
that one's pretty good.
Oh. Mother she. Okay.
It doesn't go back to the extra deck, right? Why would it go back? Oh,
Oh,
from the
for
Sunlight
Sunlight
Wolf.
Wolf.
Okay,
Sunlight
okay,
Wolf.
okay.
Effect.
So Ponix is going to be able to activate his effect to add a Fire King spell or trap.
Effect.
What did the
Didn't think I
talents
asked.
take?
Talents took Garunix, it looked like.
Okay, I didn't. I just missed it.
Corporal. Onyx.
So the hand now is Poplar, and Skybird.
Fire King Skyburn. I love that card. Poplar is going to touchdown. Yudo trying to build up as big of a board as he can to survive this turn.
Good thing that everything's in defense right now.
I love Fire King Skyburn. It's one of my favorite cards in the deck. Spoiler, shocker. It's my favorite.
Everything in defense except for the Sunlight Wolf.
Okay.
All right, Giancarlo knows all of Yuto's cards right now. He has perfect information thanks to the Triple Tactics talent. Samsara D. Lotus is going to attribute itself to special summon Spirit of Yubel. Spirit of Yubel is going to set the Nightmare Pain from the deck.
I mean, there are effectively no more interruptions available for Yuto, right? And Giancarlo knows that. So it's just a matter of either finding the damage via Yubel's attacking into the Sunlight Wolf, or just getting there through the means of your general strategy. Just cleaning up here however you can.
Adds Gruesome Grave Scormer. Spirit of Yubel is going to activate to summon from the graveyard, bringing back Yubel.
Oh.
Oh.
Strong card. Okay.
He's got Fiendsmith Engraver. Wow.
That was a really strong opening hand here from Giancarlo.
Engraver's
Yuto
going
is
to be
correct. It is a strong card.
Engraver's really going to be really critical in cleaning up the field here because you're able to get rid of the Kieran without having to trigger its effect when it's destroyed.
Okay.
Going through the motion tier tract, adds the Lurie, discards the Lurie, Lurie's effect, going to special summon himself from the graveyard.
Link 1.
Okay.
Going into the Requiem.
Game effect.
Okay.
Fiendsmith Requiem is going to tribute itself, summon Fiendsmith Engraver from the deck to the field.
And then the Engraver in the graveyard is still available. We've got the Fusion Summoning Effect of Tract also available.
A lot of things going
Okay.
right for Giancarlo right now.
Okay.
Yep, there. As I mentioned earlier, you're going to get rid of the Kieran now while you can.
Yeah.
Does he not have any Fire Kings to summon?
It doesn't destroy, right?
Oh, did he send it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense.
Thinking 1 moment.
Okay.
String hand.
So an option you have against Fire King when you're trying to clear through the board, because a lot of times they are going to fill up their field like this with Snake Eye Slamebridge and have a lot of monsters on the field. You just have to look at to get rid of that Fire King Island with something like SP Little Knight. But if you use the SP Little Knight to go to Fire King Island, you won't be getting any direct attacks for that turn. So it's kind of like a balance. You can't really use Nightmare Phoenix to clear it because of the Fire King Sanctuary, able to protect it by destroying a different fire monster.
Okay.
So it can be a little difficult to even target down the Fire King Island.
I think the easiest solution is Verudras.
It is the final bringer of End Times for sure, and for a reason.
I think if any card says destroy on it, it's that one.
Says it a lot of times.
We got 2 Light Fiends this time.
Going to be using the effective sequence there, putting those back. Going to be summoning. There it is, Fiendsmith Lacrima.
Okay.
Lacrima is going to be special summoning back that engraver from the graveyard. There's that Grave Squirmer.
There's the gruesome Grave Squirmer.
It's going to be using its effect to destroy the Yubel as well.
Not a single useless card in Giancarlo's hand going here in game number 3, using every card he drew to be in this position. Just fantastic.
That brings Terror Incarnate
Okay.
back.
There really aren't that many useless cards in the Yubel strategy.
Why is one of the strongest decks here at the World Championship this weekend?
Any redundancy you get to use immediately in the beginning to make Phantom Yubel, which is what we saw him do.
Exactly. It's one of the best decks and might be the deck that walks away with the World Champion. You know, if you told me when Yubel came out back in Phantom Darkness years ago that there was a chance it was going to end up winning a World Championship, I don't know if I would have believed you.
I don't even think it was that out of reach back then. Obviously, the decks were somewhat stronger, but like...
Jerome would know all about
Yeah,
that.
Yubel decks back in the day were way different. You did
Yeah.
some weird stuff with Doom Shaman. Keep destroying things over and over and over again.
Yep, I remember Mystic Tomato was also one of the key cards, like Creature Swap, that kind of stuff was used back.
Was Limit Reverse out yet?
No.
It came out very shortly afterwards. It's an early 5Ds card.
Okay.
I mean, that's also just one of my favorite things about Yu-Gi-Oh! Is how some of the older cards are always getting new ways to bring them back, and the way they incorporate the actual original version of the card is really cool. Like, you have to use the original Yubel if you want to play this Yubel deck.
So Fiendsmith Desiree is on the field.
Yep, Fiendsmith's tracked allowed this fusion summon to happen. Desiree's going...
The Lacrima effect to inflict 1200 damage is activated here. Requiem's already been used, by the way, to equip itself back earlier. I think it's back in the extra deck anyways.
I imagine, do you think he's going to use the effect of Desiree to block the Sanctuary? So that he can't protect the field spell?
Could be. Giancarlo was one of our players to watch from the beginning of the day.
No.
He's checking the time as well here. There's about 6 minutes and 30 seconds left.
Which really shows you the heads up from Yuto conceding that game 2 so quickly, knowing he would need every minute of game number 3.
So now we use the Requiem effect. Gonna link off both the Yama and the Engraver.
Yeah, we're just climbing steady here. I'm going to just make the Rage. It looks like he's not opting to try to end the game right now. He's just trying to clean up.
It's a little surprising, but if you know your opponent's hand and you're pretty sure that you can beat everything that's in it as long as you clear the board,
Yeah.
it makes sense.
Looks like we're going to be using the effect of Grave Squirmer here, summoning back the Spirit of Yubel from the graveyard. Can he summon another level 10 monster here? Has not used the effect of Yama yet, so it wouldn't be that much. Oh, there it is. There is the Sharvara going to be able to... well, I don't know where he's going. But yeah, the Rage is going to be destroyed. Special summon out the Sharvara from the hand. This is going to be able to trigger the Rage as well as the Yama. Yama is going to be able to use its effect to special summon back from... he's going to be able to summon back...
Target.
Okay.
The Chain Link 2 Rage is going to be adding the Lotus back to the hand, and then the Yama is going to summon... It looks like it's going to summon Fiendsmith Engraver, and... surprising. I thought it would go for maybe a Yubel monster here.
Okay.
And then we're just going to actually put back 2 monsters for the Fusion Summon.
2 versions of Yubel turn into Phantom.
Phantom.
Okay.
And now I think we're going into battle phase. That seems like a easy 1800.
18. Yeah.
Okay.
Go down to 5,000.
Yes. Okay.
Attack. Down 32.
Okay.
Nightmare Pain reflecting that damage back at Yuto.
Attack.
Okay.
1,000.
Okay. Oh. Okay.
20. Go to 22.
Okay.
And then just cleaning up the rest with a few more attacks. Oh, he's going to have to leave one body on the field. Probably going to leave up the Ponyx.
Yeah, because if he does destroy the Ponyx, he can come back to the hand during the next standby phase.
If you do get rid of the Poplar, he's able to put something back in the Spell and Trap Zone, but not super relevant in a strategy like this when you don't have access to Divine Temple immediately.
No, it's harder to get back whatever it is. It's just checking, like, okay, I know he has this. That triple tactics talent was a long time ago.
Yeah.
That was like 12 minutes ago.
Same turn, 12 minutes, yep.
We're just going to go ahead and get rid of the Ponix here, not valuing that much in the hand. He does already have access to Skyburn. That's something you have to be very careful of, but because you have the Desiree, being able to get rid of 2 cards at once here, this is a very powerful end field.
This feels really good. It's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, I mean, the Skyburn being in Yuto's hand is going to force out the Desiree right away, probably.
But that's the thing here. Does that mean that Yuto has to lead with the Fire King Island? Because if he uses the Skyburn first, he gets to answer both of those at the same time.
Oh, because it can negate 2 face-up cards. So yeah, he could probably force it out with the Fire King Island, but he doesn't have Garunic, so he needs the island to resolve.
Yeah.
So he's kind of stuck.
It's number of equipped cards, right?
I think it's the link rating.
Oh, it's the link rating of the equipped cards.
Yeah.
That's right.
Main phase.
Masala, you're welcome. Welcome back to the broadcast. I need you to speak. I will not steal your voice from you here for this weekend.
It's a tough situation.
It's been a good match. The Caesar's threatening.
Yeah, the Caesar. Something's going to get flipped with Phantom.
50.
5.
For what it's worth, as soon as the Caesar touches the Shavara, that's going to be a chamber set for the next turn as well.
Yuto at a huge life point deficit, time winding down. Is going to need to find a path to victory, or
I'm sorry? Engraver.
Effect.
I feel like you probably take the...
Okay.
I mean, you have to worry about something along the lines of Triple Tactics Talents, but you also don't want to give him any free monsters for no reason.
slowly deciding to use Caesar. Yep.
Does he have the talents?
Both of those were very reasonable cards to detach. Are you going to try to maximize the Sharvara value, make sure that the chamber is available, or do you want to make sure that you have Engraver for next turn in case you don't get to detach for the Caesar here?
True. So Fire King Island's going to
Lousy island.
He knows that Skyburn's there, wants to hold off on the sequence.
And now, if you activate Garunix... Oh, you're doing Chainlink 2 Garunix?
You has to be Chainlink 2.
Oh, because okay, well, yeah.
Visible triggers first, and then hidden triggers second.
Well, that plays right into the Caesar.
This is 2, right? Yeah.
He's looking at that. Does he want to use this, or does he want to switch it with Phantom?
It's okay. Okay, it's okay.
It's okay.
Allows it. All right.
This is a bit dangerous here, but I guess if you're going to just use the effect of Phantom Yubel to negate the effect on the field, or just get rid of the Kirin. Like, make sure you get these out of the way, right?
I could hear the Japanese casters near us also surprised that the Grunix was able to touch down on the field. And the Poplar putting the Flame Verge in the Spell and Trap card zone. If he has something like Snake Eye Oak or Ash, being able to send it from there to the graveyard. Or yeah, we know he has the original
yeah,
spells.
That's the biggest thing.
That's going to be 3 more monsters coming to the field for Yuto. But with 30 seconds on the clock, he's going to have to find something fast.
Presumably that's why he's been holding off on the Wave King the entire time, right? Because he knows about original Sinful Spoils.
Makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
The Terror Incarnate is coming out.
That's a lot of terror in this room for sure.
You can't even like rush into battle phase against Yubel either because of that Nightmare Pain.
No.
There's the normal summon of the Ponix.
Okay.
Probably doesn't have much to add anymore. Considering going straight into the extra deck here. Okay.
Anima can
Or
force
Anima.
out Desiree right away.
Okay.
Okay.
Shades of Maximilian Pegasus.
Discard. Special summon.
Oh.
Black Witch.
Ah.
Chain 1, chain 2.
Well, you can, oh, I guess
assuming
could you
that
not-
He can't target the Desiree. He can't force it out with the Anima.
Right, right, right.
Sequence.
Okay.
But could you negate the effect?
You
like
can
the
negate the Diabell Star summon.
Yeah, before the effect of Flamebridge can activate.
1, 2.
Yeah, it would negate the summon of Diabell Star, but then Flamberge would activate in the
Yeah.
afterwards.
Hit.
It's going to allow it, though, and it does look like time is going to run out on him, though. Let's see how far he can go here.
Okay.
Yeah, it's tough with timeout. There was a little more time on the clock, I think he might be able to win this one, but it's going to be tough to make this life point deficit up in main phase 1.
Well, we could get a rematch in the semifinals.
Mm-hmm.
We definitely could.
I mean, the only way out of this is doing something along the lines of maybe like a World Seas Atlantis, but I think at this point, it's a little too hard to do.
Got any of those Blaze Phoenix, the Burning Bombardment birds?
That would be nice.
Next shotgun.
All right, he's going to use the Anima and the Black Witch to go for Nightmare Phoenix. Maybe he's going to go after Nightmare Pain.
Dos.
Discard.
Or
Discard the
Sequence.
original.
Target.
Targeting the sequence.
Effect.
Sequences.
Same kind
Desiree doesn't target, so Yudo thinking to respond here, but nope, nothing. So now it's going to negate Phoenix and
The Garunix, dropping it back down because it did have an attack boost earlier.
Effect.
Original's going to be able to activate now because he didn't choose to activate from the hand. Going to put the Flame Burge back in the bottom of the deck and add. Let's see what he adds.
probably a Poplar if I had to guess blind.
Oh, there's that Poplar.
Popular effect.
Snake Eyes Poplar coming to the field. Still has Skyburn.
Oh, okay.
You just have to remember to keep that Flamberge Dragon on the bottom after the deck is randomized. We're going to link 1, 2.
Well.
He's making an access code talker here. Going to try to clean up as much as he can.
Take this. Okay.
Going to target the Nightmare Phoenix. That'll give it 2,000 more attack points. Or 4,300.
All right, activating the effect here. Probably going to go after that. Yep, the Caesar. Only remaining interruption. He can now add resolution, activate the Shavara, but opting not to. Probably just forgetting at this point.
Man, I wish there was. Maybe there's a time extension we don't know about. That would be so nice.
I mean, he is absolutely allowed to finish his phase.
Yeah. He had all the tools necessary to win this game for sure. And after, especially because he conceded game 2 so early, it's frustrating to see him not have the time here.
Spirit goes that the Terror Incarnate's still there.
Yeah, the Nightmare Pain still face up, but Access Code Talker is going to be able to clean up.
I do think that Giancarlo would have played the turn a little bit differently as far as his interruptions would go. If he knew that there wasn't going to be enough time for a battle phase, because I think he was just playing to his outsider. Like, he knows that he's ahead here. There are only certain ways that he can lose, and he's choosing to save his interruptions for the things that would make that happen.
Now, if he was playing the Ultimate Nightmare,
Well,
we could have gotten another Yubel out there.
That would have been a hilarious effect. One of the most terrifying words he would have been able to hear.
I see it in regional deck lists sometimes. I
Rightly
kind of like
terrifying.
it.
Yep. And